Welcome to Drinking with the Stars in New York City. Today we're drinking with a New York icon, Geraldo Rivera. Thanks for joining us. The drinks, we're having some Zacapa rum, which is appropriate for a man who's from the Isla de Encanto, Puerto Rican native. You know a thing or two about rum, right?
I drink rum and this is delicious, thank you.
Is there a dose of hypocrisy in our society that we will throw open our arms and embrace Caitlyn Jenner because she's choosing to identify as a woman, but we will scorn someone like Rachel Dolezal because she's choosing to identify as black?
Well, I have two words for the Caitlyn Jenner story that no one in your audience will appreciate, and the two words are Chris Humphries. Why do I mention Chris Humphries?
I know why you do, and it's a great point. Please share.
I think that the Kardashians are the fakest people. They are totally created brilliantly. They have the talent of promotion more than anyone. And I wonder how much of Bruce, who I interviewed as Bruce a couple of times over the years, how much of that is motivated by the big payday at the end of it? I don't know.
You said we should never forget that this whole premeditated mega saga has been created under the uber clever auspices of the savviest promoters of the 21st century, those Barnum and Baileys of reality TV, the clever Kardashians. Is that what you still feel now?
You've been around the block a couple of times. Do you think that Bruce Jenner could have fooled Kris Kardashian all of these years? That he really put the wool over her eyes, one of the most clever, perceptive, insightful women in public life in America today? She was hoodwinked.
So, big announcement. One of your recent coworkers, Donald Trump, running for president. What was your immediate reaction? Were you surprised at all?
Well, first of all, I would never call Donald Trump a co-worker. He was my boss on Celebrity Apprentice. Although we've been friends for a long time. You know, I've known Donald for over 3 decades. And was I surprised? You know, I told him on Apprentice, he asked the question constantly, should I run for president? Should I run for president? And my advice to Donald was, if you're going to do it, you've got to do it and stop teasing people. You know, you don't want to be the person, you know, who cries wolf and say, I'm gonna do it, and then not do it. If you're gonna do it, you've got to do it, and this time he did. He certainly made a big splash on New York radio. I'm telling you, there has not been this kind of excitement in the city since, in a very different way, 9/11, I think, was never people so energized about, you know, negative or positive, about a man announcing a run for an office.
Is he competent?
I think he's one of the most competent people I know. And that's an interesting, Mikey, that is an interesting way to phrase it, because I knew Donald when he could not pay a $50 million prenup to Ivana.
Right.
You know, he could not make the $50 million. He pled poverty, and the judge examined his assets and said, okay, you don't have $50 million. Now he's got $8 billion, so he has 8,000 million.
He has a tendency towards the superlative. And do you think that will serve him well on the world stage? Even at his campaign announcement, he said, there's thousands of people here. And one of the first stories that came out was there were not thousands of people there. There were hundreds.
I think that his temper is both what is endearing about him and off-putting. Whether he has the measured consideration and contemplation to be the president of the United States. I submit that these deals could not get done if he didn't, wherever the boardroom is or the negotiation room is, he didn't abandon that persona and become someone much more practical and reasonable. For example, I love the guy. I mean, he's a hangout buddy, and yet I am totally offended by the way he characterized Mexican immigrants during his announcement. But I hope that he will look at that and get to a more measured place, a more reasonable stance on immigration.
Geraldo Rivera, thanks for drinking with me.
Thank you.
Cheers.
A lot of fun, Mikey. Thank you.
You must be thirsty too. Try the Pan Am. It's 1.5 ounces of Zacapa rum, a 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, a 1/2 ounce of Aperol, a 1/2 ounce of orgeat, and 1 egg white. Mix it up and enjoy.
Hi, I'm Geraldo. I'm drinking with Mikey here in New York. I was born on 17th Street. I like to think of myself as part of this town. If you want to see other New York icons talking, drinking with the stars, click on any of these videos.